Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to the live. Happy hump day. I guess it's Wednesday, isn't it? I always lose track of my days. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. And like I said in the chat at the near the top there, Belinda will be joining us in a little bit here. So it will be nice to have Belinda back on the live. It's been a minute. And yeah, and so she'll speak in just a little bit. Now, I just want to say that up top, I did pin, I guess there's the GoFundMe. And I asked her, okay, I said, you know, is there a link? So if anyone wants to support Belinda, I think a lot of you guys probably read her post today, and she can speak on that. But she didn't ask me. I asked her. I always love to support people, you know, with genuine purposes and reasons. And this channel has done that many of times for other people. Anyways, you guys, again, thank you for joining the live today. I'll just say shout out some hellos right away, okay? Quickly, Root Strength was the first one to post a message. Sunny days and nights. Grey Wolf's in the house. Hi, Sunny and Belinda. Let's see here. Hi, Detective Tom. How are you, Sammy? Belinda believes. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, I feel like. Do you feel like I've spoiled you guys a little this week? I go from like gone for over 2 months, and then all of a sudden, like pretty much alive. Besides yesterday, I was it yesterday? No, day before, right? I think there was one day I didn't do one. Anyways, it's nice to be back and cover Jack and Lily's case. Oh, 1 second there. Let's see. Add the stage. Well, look what the cat drug in. Now, Belinda, just to ask you, are you wanting to come on now or still wait? Oh, you're muted, by the way. Just so you know.
I was actually hoping to wait a bit.
Okay, you know what? I'll take you back off. Just when you popped on, I thought, oh, she must be writing. I was going to message you, and I was like, now I'll just ask her.
Yeah, I can't do two things at once.
Okay, just mute yourself again or whatever. Then I'm just going to put myself back on. There we go. She'll be back. She'll be back. Anyways, hi, Violet. How are you? Leon's in the house. Hi, Belinda and Sunny and everyone. Brandy, Indy, TJZ Mom. I always think of, whenever I see that name, I'm always thinking of TMZ. You know, that gossipy channel there. Gypsy Flo, how are you? Sue Oilers, how are you? Shouldn't that say like Sue, like Flames? Hi, Kemi, how are you? Just Ducky's in the house. P.S. P Spice, we'll say. Spice. And then Dawn's in the house, Fire Horse. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate that. And Little Mama's in the house. And Corbin. Hello, guys. Hi, everyone. And good evening, everyone. Let's get justice for Jack and Lily. Absolutely. This case, I mean, there's any case I follow just breaks my heart. But, when children, just children, it's just such, it's just so hard to wrap your head around when they're there 1 minute and then no longer, right? Uh, Goes with any case. Hi, Pictou. How are you? Uh, yes, we are here for only one reason, and that is justice for Jack and Lily. Absolutely. That's what we want. Simple as that. Lots of drama, lots of BS, lots of bullshit along the way of it. But the focus remains the same is, just the awareness, the hearts of everyone that follows the case, that just keep looking for some sort of update, that we hear answers at some point of what happened to Jack and Lily. And here we sit over a year later, you know. Obviously, that's not a good sign, regardless. Doesn't mean the case is not going to be solved. But, anything past the first day is too long. But, anyways, I know that that's the way cases go. I wasn't expecting it for this case. I wasn't expecting it for Sebastian Rogers' case either, which is his is just over 2 years. And yeah, so it's just very heartbreaking. Hi, Maria. How are you? Susanna. Kelly's in the house. MZ Michelle. Good for saying I'm so happy to read Belinda's message today. And Cindy's Perry, how are you? I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but Edka? Edka? Yeah, we'll just say it is, even if it isn't, because I don't know any better. And then Brian's in the house. Hey, Brian. And there we go. I think I said Susanna, or maybe that was a different one. Mustang's in the house. And hi, Wait. How are you? Carla, nice to see you. Melissa, support with Steffa. Hi, beautiful. And Hamitude. Oh, by the way, what's today? Steffa, did I hear Charmaine right? Did she? I can't remember if I heard her right or not. Did she say that? Are you a Taurus as well? Because like Charmaine, I know Charmaine's birthday's like on the 19th of this month. Yeah, yeah, I know. Should be close to 60 at least. And if you don't think so, yeah, just kidding. You know what? I know Charmaine's younger than I am. I just can't remember how many years exactly. Something like 5 or 6 years, I think, less than me. I think. If I'm aging her, too bad. Little mama. Okay. Hi, Amy. How are you? Sending lots of love and light, Belinda. All right. I think we're good. Oh, hi, Marie. How are you? On there. I just remember Charmaine saying something about a Taurus birthday party or something like that. I believe she's going to be away for a few days. She has her personal stuff going on and all that stuff. And anyways, anyone that I've said over the last few lives again, if people want to be able to talk, then they have to sub up. Simple as that. Other than that, I'm leaving it for the subs, and that's simply the way it is. And hi, Power. How are you? Kim Mitchell. Hi, Kayla. I'm Kayla from the U.S., new here, but not to the case. Yeah. A lot of people were covering it from the start, right? Like, meaning I had been paying attention to it from the start. And then when I remember Charmaine being on vacation and, talking to her about it. And I was like, we need to do a live on this. And so it was within like the first week, I remember. But there was a lot of people covering it. Grizzly True Crime, Clutch Them Pearls, Justin, Dolly Vision. Just a lot of people were. And, then of course, so there's a few that still cover it from the US, but, mainly, the Canadian case to start off, right? Like meaning, I'm kind of one of those ones that usually stick to one thing. I did get in. I've definitely been into the Nancy Guthrie case. Pulled back a little bit because it's one of those things, is that it's a matter of time, and stuff like that. But keeping the awareness out there for the victims. I seen Cop Facts was in here yesterday. He's from the Suzanne Morphew case. Retired, brilliant man. Yeah, written books too. Been in the scene for a long time, but it was nice to see him in here. Yeah, Libra. Okay, I just thought I heard her say your name. That's why. Hi, Maple Leaf. How are you, Elva? Nice to see ya. Uh, Heather. I think I already said. He's sending Belinda in prayers for Jack and Lily. Susanna, we said that. Sunny, you cover Jack and Lily case the best. Wow, I appreciate that. I just, you know what? In anything I personally do, I'm just a big fan of truth and honesty and sincerity, and not doing it for these. Thanks, Root Strength. Soon it will be hot lives in your bed again.
$10 You're awesome. Thank you. So happy to have you back, Sunny. Smiling face with hearts and soon it will be heartless in your bedroom again. Smiley face emoji.
Appreciate that, Root Strength. Nice to see you. Whoops, Kelly. You and Charmaine and Melissa always bring the truth. Yeah, I just like to be around in my real life as well. That's why I can't even say that I have a friend. I would say there is a person at work that me and her were doing training together originally, but then she moved to the other office, and so me and her will still meet up for lunch. Uh, but other than that, like Alexa, Charmaine, and Melissa, Steffa, kind of, I suppose. But Sharon Parker, I've met some great people in the true crime along the way. There's more than that, but those are the ones that just popped off in my head. But anyways, bottom line is, again, I just like people with integrity and honesty to themselves. Again, if someone wants to sit there, that's Sunny, she's so full of shit, she's blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Literally don't care. Because again, if there's one thing that nobody can take away from you, it's who you are as a person. And I got too much past for anyone to do that crap to me. Hi, Badette. It's nice to see you. Hi, Shirley. How are you? Same here. Just want the truth. Right. Again, it's not about feeding people bullshit, or even trying to get you guys to believe my personal thoughts and stuff like that. Everyone has their own brain cells. Some lack a few sometimes, but for the most part, people that follow Jack and Lily's case, regardless, they just want justice for Jack and Lily and answers. And any parent, I would think, would want that. Right, Malaya? Right, Malaya. Right, Malaya. Kelly gifted 5 memberships, you guys. Very sweet of you to do that. Let's see who got those. Let me just let my thing catch up here. My studio. Okay. Carla got one. Brandy Indy got one. Sue Oilers got one. Amy. And right. And then there was, Sharon Parker. Wait. Gifted a membership. Make sure wait, hold on. Sorry, Sue. It wasn't. Sorry, Stu. Your chat came in the mix of that. It was Carla, Brandy, Amy, Sharon Parker, and Wait. So that was from Kelly Thompson there. So make sure you give her a big thank you and hugs along the way. Appreciate that. I do like those. They pay it forward to the channel. Thank you for your support, but they pay it forward to somebody else. Hello. So whenever someone gifts a membership, the Rick roll goes off, which is okay. I always like the little bit of upbeat stuff coming along. But I wish I would only do it once though, not every time. I gotta work that out. But no, like it's not something that I can really stop that way. It just doesn't. Sorry, Sue. Sorry, Sue. I know it was like I kept seeing the names, like I have to go to the YouTube studio, seeing the names, and your message fell right in the mix of all of them. Anyways, let's see. Hope was a good nap. Little flare up, so much rain. Yeah, you guys, over here, West Coast, rainy. You guys got rain? Do we have to wait for two more to go off? We'll get into it. So, Root Strength, thank you. Kelly Thompson, thank you. Yeah, big hugs back. Nice to be here. You guys see I'm wearing my Canadian hoodie today. Figured it was the right thing to wear today. I looked sitting there going, I gotta take my top off. I'm in Ontario. Yeah, been kind of like I said, rainy today. We're gonna have some miserable. You guys are gonna get some lives, and I suppose over the next few days because it's supposed to be shit, just rain until Monday. So I'm like, because typically we've been going out like on the weekends and having a barbecue and stuff. But yeah, looking at a bunch of rain. This one on there. But I'll tell you, you'd never hear me saying this when I was younger, but I would rather have rain than your snow anymore. I'll tell you that. Love the hoodie. Yeah, straight from Janie, if you're watching, just in case. Janie, Timu. Just saying, Timu. We had rain yesterday and some today. Okay. Love it. Canada is an amazing country. And you know what it is? My husband, I remember when my husband came over from England, and he always would say, and still does sometimes, he always would say it feels like you can breathe, and I had gone over to England back in, I think it was 2019, and I understood what he meant because the roads are very close, and same with the driving. They have to, like when they park, it's usually up on the sidewalk a lot. But here it's just like no matter what, even if there's townhomes or different things, houses and all that, but you still feel like you can breathe, right? There's just such a vast space of land in a sense. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So again, for anyone coming in, Belinda will be joining us. I'll keep an eye out for when she says she's ready to come up or whatever. And again, I'm just going to say this. Belinda did not ask me to, but I did post the GoFundMe link. So if anyone does want to help, obviously most people have read the post, right? But again, Belinda by no means got money bags, okay, at all. So anyone that does want to help support Belinda as she's trying to find, I guess, another lawyer there. But I'll let her speak on that stuff, okay? But anyways, whoever wants to love and support Belinda, the link is up top there for this GoFundMe. So is your brother? Yep, still here, at least till August. Okay, now what I wanted to get into, or like I said, up until Belinda comes up, is actually, let me ask you guys in chat first. What do you think happened to Jack and Lily? So, hi, Darlene. Parental, family involvement. Do any of you guys believe that the children are alive regardless? You think that they were abducted by a stranger? Do you think that like I said, Malaya has hidden them somewhere, and they're still living and breathing out there? Do you think that they did wander off in the woods and drones and nobody, nothing could find them? What do you think when you say abandoned, Zai? What do you mean by the word? I know what abandoned means, obviously, but in what sense do you mean it? No, they are deceased, Brian Sutherland says. The $1 million question. Absolutely. I wish than any other. Sally, I don't think the kids are with us anymore. Family involvement. I really don't know what happened anymore, but I don't think that they are alive. Unalive by MBM, moved / buried by DM. Patriot Girl, thank you for being here, parents and family. And of course, the reason I'm asking this is because, as I keep stating myself, right, is that although nobody has been charged and there's no answers for Jack and Lily, it's what is the most probable um, of what happened to what happened to Jack and Lily. I think they are deceased and buried, kept in the ground in the woods. I think all three are involved. I believe kids are alive, but think someone they know has them. Okay, and we're going to go through this in just a minute. Hi, show integrity. I believe something bad happened and they are not no longer with us. Not alive. Family involvement. Thank Kemi. Family involvement. Deborah Dixon. I think Daniel did something, in my opinion. Attic, Ad, I'm not sure. Attica? I think let's go with Attica. I feel like the kids did not come home Thursday from Dollarama. Something happened close by there, is my gut feeling. Right. Okay. I think it's possible that kids were bored waiting for their parents to get up and went to school. Hi, Cam. Sport with Steffa. I think that they were neglected, and neglected children end up dead by parents or parents' friends. The old mysterious, I worry someone picked them up and it was never thoroughly investigated outside the borders. If we send money to support Belinda, will she lose us a percent if we send it this way? Very, very nominal when it comes to GoFundMe. And yeah, you know what? If you like, like some people, they can just, I know, do like a e-transfer, but I don't know where details and stuff for that and all that, but can figure that out. But it's a small percentage with the GoFundMe. But when Belinda comes up, I'll ask. Okay, family involved in my information. MBM and her family. Justice for Jack and Lily. Belinda needs answers. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Shannon. The real Shannon. Will the real Shannon please stand up? Unalive, sadly. Susanna. Hi, Ariel. Accidental death and cover up. We may never know. Absolutely, we might not. Let's not. Let's not hope for that though. But yeah, it's realistic. I believe something happened Thursday night and moved in a vehicle. Now this is like, okay, so you know how so Brad said that Daniel drove a vehicle, and basically it was like a 5-speed, right? It was whatever it was, Rio, some Kia Rio or something like that. But then when Daniel was up here the other day, he says, like I basically don't drive a standard type of thing. So, like there's all this, like I said, information that makes our head spin, right? With regards to, where the truth lies and stuff like that. But, it's hard to forget certain things for sure. If it was just one person making a comment about a vehicle, but yet we had two, right? But again, you're just, and then you just wish that there was some camera footage, like somewhere within the vicinity of the home and stuff like that. I think that they left them in the woods somewhere, possibly. Personally, I believe Jack and Lily wandered off the property and picked them up and no longer with me. Accident, but it says, and bad cover up. Patriot hidden and buried somewhere. Well, I thank you guys for all your opinions. I just want to see where you guys, did I get it? And I just want to see where your guys' thoughts are now, because there's, as time goes on and people kind of get, frustrated, then you start, re-looking at things, and then, people start talking again and stuff like that. And then, again, you guys can either believe Daniel, not believe Daniel, totally up to you. Malaya, same thing and stuff like that. And, like I said, at the end of the day, we just have to wait for the answers. But, people can easily, I have, well, I haven't gone too far off it, but I have tried to look at everything that's realistic. I don't know. Sorry, Leon, something happened Thursday evening. I don't know. Something, I think that someone picked them up when the school bus was supposed to pick them up. and possibly accidental, but parents culpable. Show family of, well, like I said, and like I even said when Daniel was on here, like, regardless of anything, right, is that first of all, you're going to think about what the likelihood is of what happened to the children and what is the most probable thing. And then, of course, you're going to look at everything that we've seen, what we've heard, and that's going to only build on top of what is typically the most likely scenario. I keep thinking of the Black House. Hi, Tam. I hope they are still alive somewhere, that they were taken from something parents did and will be returned, but I realize that may not right. Right. But it's fine, right? Because we would all want that to be true, no matter what. We would still wish for this to be true. Most people just know realistically that the outcome is not usually a good one when it comes to children missing, especially underneath of a certain age. Not with us, Fire says. Whoops. Why is my thing showing there? There we go. Nice to see you too. Okay. So I want to, the whole case feels horrible. Games of three truths and a lie. 75% of what we are hearing is complete nonsense, but the truth is, that's just it. The truth is in there, but at this point, we honestly don't know where the truth lies. Thing about Belinda, and there's some others too, like Haley and stuff, is that that there's no benefit to them trying to deceive us, but with the information or their reasons why, right? I mean, I've talked to Haley multiple times. The only thing I ever take away from Haley is the fact of she's frustrated and wants answers for Jack and Lily. Again, when anyone has their own children, Belinda, she wants answers for her grandbabies, but there's no stake in the game of it there, right? And that's the difference, is that, with parents, definitely, we see that too, where, they will lie for their children, protect them or not say. Sometimes people think that not saying anything is just as good as not lying and stuff like that. But like I said, we'll see. Okay. I tended to defend DM until your long interview. I now believe he is totally complicit. I'm past changing my mind. You did it for me, Sonny. Hey, Annabelle, thank you for your input as well there. Okay, so, yeah, Monkey Vaughn's parents. Oh, I know. I tell you, like I said, just keep going back to case after case and tell me that it isn't either family involvement or somebody close to the children that were in their life of in some way, right? Okay, so I will. Stevie Wonder's in the house. Well, I mean, sometimes it's Stevie Wonder, sometimes it's Rick Astley. Okay, so I want to go back to this because, like I said, it's about being a logical thinker, and so I wanted to ask AI again. So I said, oh, I think I might have to put my glasses on for this one. All right, okay, I'm aging, people. Okay, so I said using only facts, because we know there's a bunch of bullshit out there. So I said, using only facts in the Jack and Lily case, what is the most probable scenario? The children were abducted by a stranger. The children were sold. The children were murdered by the parents. The children were taken and hidden by family. The children wandered off. And then I must have said something else. Hold on. And then I asked it also, is there any other scenarios that you can think of on top of that? Okay. So it says, do I need this? Yeah, I should keep them on. To provide a rational assessment of the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan on May 2nd, 2026, we must weigh the known evidence against the logic of each scenario. The RCMP has stated that this case remains not yet criminal, which means the definitive physical proof required to confirm any of these theories. And this is where I feel like I'm at with this, that they lack the definitive physical proof here. Now, here's a breakdown of the most probable scenarios based on the facts currently available. The children wandered off accidental. The facts: the children were last seen in their yard in a rural wooded area in Nova Scotia. The logic: statistics show that most children that are found within 1.2 kilometers. In this case, an unprecedented search covering 40 kilometers of ground, abandoned mines, bodies of water, found zero traces, no clothes, no scent from the cadaver dogs. Probability: low. It is extremely rare for two children to wander so far that not a single piece of evidence is found after a year of intense searching. Murdered by parents, caregivers. The facts: high tension relationship. History of domestic calls. Daniel Martell is currently facing unrelated charges of assault and forcible confinement. The logic: both the mother and Daniel Martell passed polygraph tests early on. However, criminologists note that the lack of any stranger sightings in the area on the morning of the disappearance often points to an inside event. Probability: moderate to high. Investigative focus. While the polygraphs were truthful, the lack of external evidence leads investigators to look closely at the household dynamics. Without a body or a forensic scene, this remains unproven. Taken and hidden by family. The facts: the children's biological father and mother, well, he's not biological, obviously, have been both under scrutiny. The logic: the scenario involves a protective abduction, whereas a family member hides the children to keep them safe from perceived harm. The challenge: hiding two children in Canada for over a year without health cards, school enrollment, or being spotted by the public is nearly impossible in the digital age. Probability: low. There have been no confirmed sightings or digital breadcrumbs, bank transfers, burner phones to support a long term underground move. Abduction by a stranger. The facts: the house is sparsely populated area and very few pass through travelers. The logic: a stranger would have had to enter the property, secure two children simultaneously without a struggle or a noise, and exit the area without any neighbors or cameras seeing a suspicious vehicle. Probability: extremely low. Simultaneous stranger abduction of two siblings is one of the rarest crimes in Canadian history. The children were sold. Says the logic: this assumes a financial motive where the children were handed over to a third party. Probability: near zero. There is no evidence of a deep web communication or large scale financial transactions required for such a transaction. Trafficking usually involves older, vulnerable youth rather than two young siblings from a private home. Other scenarios. Based on the investigative pattern, here are other scenarios that fit the logic of the case. Third party accident. An individual, perhaps a neighbor or visitor, accidentally struck the children with a vehicle on a rural road. Fearing the consequences, they removed the children from the scene. This explains lack of evidence in the yard and the lack of evidence of the crime scene in the house. The premeditated separation. This theory suggests the children were not taken at once, but the disappearance was staged to look like a single event, whereas they may have been moved individually in the days leading up to the report. This would explain why scent dogs could not track. Says the most probable logical conclusion: rationally, the inside event, accidental or intentional, followed by a highly effective disposal of cover up, remains the most probable scenario according to criminal profiling. This is supported by the complete absence of physical evidence. Usually, when people disappear into nature or are taken by strangers, they leave a footprint. When they vanish from a controlled environment with zero evidence left behind, it often indicates their environment itself was controlled by someone who had time to access, to clean, or stage it. Okay, so that's, I mean, I asked it more, but the gist of that is that no matter how many times you slice or dice it, right? The logical thinking of a case like this that is so unheard of and profoundly rare that, like it says in AI, right? I was asking for the facts, but it was about extremely low, low, and medium to high. So the thing is that, again, it's not because I'm sitting there going, oh, I really wish it was Malaya and Daniel, that did something. It's just about looking at a case logically and watching the actions of what we've seen, but based on statistics and almost pretty much every case out there that involves small children, it's usually someone they know, even if it's a neighbor, that lives right nearby and stuff like that. But typically it's parental family involvement. So I just kind of wanted to input those different scenarios and then ask AI, if there was any more that they could think of, because obviously, AI knows the case, but I didn't want them to put in any of the bullshit of the BS, that we've been hearing, just based on the facts. And that's just it. So that's where I sit today, right? For Daniel and Malaya might have nothing to do with it. No charges. So we don't know the answer. But based on history, based on stats, that is the most likely scenario. So until something ever comes along to try to sway me differently, there's nothing as of yet that has done that for me, because I'll go with stats all day long when it comes to missing children and from me following cases where the involvement lies. Hi, Hunter. How are you? I want to go check out your channel, but it doesn't look like you did too many videos in the last little bit, or at least a couple months, I think. Someone on the property knows something. What else could it be? Well, again, right? You're trying to take the words of people that have been inconsistent with their timelines. And so where does it lead you? It just leads you on top of the statistics to ask yourself, why, right? Now, again, it's about what is the most likely scenario. Even when I asked Daniel about it, I said, okay, the window that you guys have given is a very small window. And he could not even answer the time of basically waking up, and then to 9:40 basically, right? So between 8 to 8:30 pretty much, but let's just say 8:30 to 9:40. And even he couldn't give a time, but his mom gave a time of pretty much after 9. She didn't say after 9, but based on the fact of when she called her brother and then the nap and stuff like that, that leaves it after 9 o'clock. Well, again, the window is so small. How is it then that this vehicle came near or close to the property and managed to take 2 children out that don't leave their home, right? But that's what the parents are claiming. It doesn't mean it's true, because Jack and Lily could have played outside all day long, front yard, backyard, and we wouldn't know it because we weren't there to know exactly what Jack and Lily did, But according to the parents, right, that they, Malaya contradicted herself on this, because Malaya made comments about that, they're always supervised, but then by the same token, she would make comments that, that they would go to outside and that Janie would call them in, or that they would, kind of like go to the front yard area. She didn't say front yard area, but meaning she referenced comments that made that you knew that the children weren't always supervised. And so I initially took that as that they're trying to look good because CPS had come along, and nobody wants to look bad, right? Regardless. So if they had no family involvement whatsoever, bottom line is they don't want to. Nobody wants to look like shit on national television, right? No one thinks to that they want to put out their dirty laundry. It will come out because the true crime community will force it to come out, right? They'll dig for everything that has to do with the case. Anyone that has a record, CPS records, dig, right? But anyway, so when I was asking Daniel about that, and I said, well, it seems ridiculous that they would wander down the road, nobody would see them, and then, a blanket ends up in the tree. The blanket is the key to this case for the fact of whoever put the blanket in the tree absolutely had something to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. Let me put it this way, 99.9999999%. Okay? Now, so what are the chances of that happening, that Jack and Lily took the blanket and whisked it away and headed off down the trail? Lily left some sort of boot print, perhaps, down the pipeline. Logical or very slim, right? And then what are the chances that a stranger on a day that the children decided that they were just going to escape the house, veer off towards the street, and a vehicle would come by and be like, well, shit, I'm taking those two children. It's a vehicle coming by. It's just, again, extremely low, right? Extremely low. Okay. So Daniel says that he doesn't believe that, say, Malaya and her mom, Cindy, he doesn't know what to think anymore, but he doesn't believe that they had anything to do with it now. Okay. So what does that leave you, though, right? He doesn't believe they're in the woods, So where does that leave you? It leads you back to home is where it leads you. Let me just look at some of your comments here. Sunny, statistically, historically, the person who flees the crime scene is guilty or involved. She fled. Absolutely, right? I mean, just by perception. And like we talked about again, and I'm just going to see if Belinda has left me a message yet. Belinda, if you're watching, make sure you leave me a message in Messenger to let me know when you're ready to come up. But anyways, so where am I at? Again, does a normal person think to go home and go, you know what? My two kids are missing, but fuck that. Facebook, I gotcha. I'm going to sit there and make myself single. I'm going to take down Daniel's pictures. And that's what I'm going to do when my two children are missing. Again, either that person's fucking whacked to even think to do that right away. Right? Or they had some sort of involvement, in my opinion. Because that whole area of time strikes me as strange, but then by the same token, is it like, then you start to kind of wonder and ask yourself, though, like, if two people are trying to cover up, what happened to Jack and Lily, that wouldn't be very smart to leave the home, right? So in my head for a long time, it was always, well, what would propel a mother to leave the home knowing about these? Oh, you're ready. You guess, you know what? Belinda's going to come up right now. So we'll come back to that. Let's bring up Belinda, you guys. Make sure you give her lots of love and hugs. And 1 second here. Maybe we should make her wait. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe 1 second, Belinda. So again, I'm just going to go drop this GoFundMe. Anyone that wants to support Belinda and, helping out with a new lawyer and stuff like that, or just love and support for Jack and Lily and all the expenses that get incurred. Wait, an arrow occurred. Wait a moment. Try again. Oh, let me try it this way. 1 sec, Belinda. I'm just making you sweat it. Let me see if I do it this way. Okay. Da, 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 da. Hi, Belinda.
Hi.
Do. Let me just try to see if I got my thing up. Okay. It's just that when I drop the link, well, the link is up in the top of the screen there for the GoFundMe. Okay. So I love it that you're back on the channel, not for the reasons, but thank you for being here. It's been a minute.
Yes, it has. And thank you for having me. And hello, everybody.
Yeah. Um, so
Hi, sweetie.
is your daughter here?
Yeah, I just seen her name up there.
Oh, okay, because I saw someone say to Chelsea. Where's Chelsea? I was probably on the other screen when she came in on there. Oh, there she is. Hey, Chelsea. Yeah. I feel like I'm more your daughter than Chelsea. Just saying. Sorry, Chelsea. Move over. There's a new kid in town. I'm just teasing you. You had a great Mother's Day, Belinda,
I actually did, yes,
with Chinese food.
with Chinese food.
Yeah.
It was nice to get out.
Uh, I bet. You know. You know. I know we're gonna get into your post today with regards to, Daleen the lawyer and that in a minute, but I do want to. What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about that, or because I do want to ask you overall about this past year and everything? What would you like to talk about first?
This past year has been a whirlwind that I never thought in the beginning when I come out and talked with you when I stated the words that I didn't want their names going quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And a year later, and I see so many other channels that have come on board, all the AI ones, some other ones that have been here for a while. And I see all the chaos, and I think to myself, I don't know if I started something that turned out to be not good in wanting everybody to keep Lily and Jack's story out there.
And
But
just but don't
I've
don't doubt
heard
yourself on that. Go ahead.
I've heard from you that apparently this happens in a lot of cases.
Yes.
It's definitely been an eye opener.
You've learned a lot throughout this. Absolutely. I'm sure in every which way, shape, and form. From not never expecting your grandchildren to go missing to the fight for justice for Jack and Lily. I'm sure, I know my heart hurts about the whole situation, obviously, but it hurts a lot for you, the exhaustion through it all, the different arguments that have gone on. But at the end of the day, I'm always about that things happen for the reasons they're meant to happen.
I I try to tell myself that. Some days it's a little hard, but I still try to tell myself that.
Yeah, a lot of days I'm sure are very hard. But I just said, because I mean, I know that you've been through a lot throughout all of this, you know, ups and downs and all arounds. And people, lately I've seen, obviously people attacking, but we're not going to talk about him, in a sense. But it's just like, to me, I can't believe that, because it's like all I've ever seen is a grandmother that just wants answers. And really, besides Daniel, of course, um, being the first person to really, just keep going from the moment you did lives here, and and all the different things like with Alana, with Kent helping out with all these events and stuff like that. And you know, all I think about is, how is it that you keep going? I know you have to, because you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I know you need downtime for sure. Are you getting any downtime really?
In my mind, no, no. Um, Do I force myself out of it? When I have my granddaughter, I force myself out of it. I had a hard time at first because my mind was still racing, and I realized that I can enjoy her right now, so I have to stop everything so I can enjoy her.
You know, what you need, right? It's only
It,
fair on yourself and your
it,
family.
it is, but on the same token, it's hard to shut it off.
You know what, Belinda? Absolutely, because all of us, I know myself, every day, there's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm thinking of Jack and Lily. I'm trying to understand where the truth lies, even though I know that obviously we need to wait for RCMP to give the answers. But that doesn't still stop me from thinking and stuff like that. So if it weighs on our minds every day, I can only imagine because you are the biological grandmother of Jack and Lily and what it must do to your brain and turn it into mush, I'm sure. And yeah, so that part I hate. I hate the fact that people have to go through this, but in particular I'm talking about you. That you have to endure this every single day as we wait for answers to what happened, you know?
It actually gets, I find it harder to talk now
Yeah, explain if you don't
that
mind.
I watched Malaya go search. I hear Daniel talk, and it seems they're finding it easier to do it now. I find it harder.
And is that because you see them seem to find it easier? That it's upsetting to you because it's almost like being complacent or what?
Maybe a little bit of that,
Okay.
but I actually thought the more I talked, the more I could get the emotion out and I could be more calm, but it doesn't seem to work that way.
Are
Uh,
you
I get more upset. I get more angry.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, Belinda, it's really to be expected as well because even though this is about two missing children, um right, the different stages still in a sense that people have to go through, so I can see why it would be more maybe frustrating, angry. Time This much time has gone by, still no answers, still watching what's happening. But do you know what I mean? So at first you're just hopeful for some answers to what happened to Jack and Lily, and then again then it becomes kind of like, well, which you've said on interviews about that you believe that the two children are not alive any longer. But then I know that you didn't expect to be here a year later, and still, but during that time anyone really would kind of change, their emotions would change, and I would see it being more as anger and frustrations. I don't know.
It
I'm not.
is. It is.
I know.
The online community has, as much as what I'm, I don't even have the words because we're a year later, and every night I can still find their names out there,
Hmm.
and that means everything. But I've seen so much hate, so much sidetracking, so much chaos, and I don't understand that. After all this time, that seems to be getting worse.
Do you feel like it actually is? Because I know that it kind of like, meaning from the cases that I've watched, it's like drama and a lot of BS going on, and then it will toned down a bit, and because of not a lack of information, and then it picks back up. So I've watched it, well, now that I've been paying attention more so to see what's kind of going on. Now it's back to peak again of a lot of BS going on again. But for me, I really try to avoid all that stuff, because the purpose, of course, is. But I know that because you're the grandmother, and you talk, like you talk with a lot of people. I don't have to, right? In a sense, but there's a lot of people, like throughout this whole entire time, say some I'm sure have come and gone, or, maybe betrayed you. Others have, like myself, right, Belinda? You still love a lot more than Chelsea. Just kidding, Chelsea. No, but yeah, So in my heart here, I was just kind of wondering, yeah, like what you feel like now, what's, you know, like I don't want you to kind of, add to any drama by saying that stuff that doesn't really matter in a sense. But I always will want you to speak from your heart what you do want to say, you know, um, with whatever, to be honest.
I haven't changed my opinion on what I feel and think. That hasn't changed. I don't dwell on that as much because I do believe the RCMP will put that together.
Yeah.
With me, it's more of I don't understand everybody else. I don't understand how it can't be looked at to know that this is 12 months. We're going into 13 months.
That's crazy to me. Yeah. That song that Russell McDonald did, um, another beautiful song. Um, that song actually, again, just, like yesterday, I think when I was playing it, was I live yesterday? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay, was I? Okay, thank you. I just, sorry. I like work, right? Get up early, and then the days just run into each other. But it's just like as I'm playing it and I'm listening to the words again, for Jack and Lily to come home and all that stuff. It just tears me up every time. And like I said, I'm not a blood relation to them. You are. And just every time I hear that, I just can't help but think of you. And I know that there's others out there, but I speaking of Belinda, because Belinda's the one that has my heart when it comes to Jack and Lily's case. And for people that, like I said, want to, try to bring her down, try to break her, try to whatever, I just won't put up with that at all myself, but yet by the same token, I know that those are just useless people to me that would make comments such as this, knowing full well, you know what I mean? It's like goes without saying, Belinda, you've shown throughout this past year all the stuff that you've done for Jack and Lily to bring the awareness. And honestly, if it wasn't for you and Danielle, I have to say Danielle included, but you two are the main people that have been talking about Jack and Lily. So regardless if it's say drama stuff, however it's come along with when Daniel has been speaking and stuff, or people have whatever wanted to put you in that same case a little bit, whatever, right? Because the main purpose is to keep Jack and Lily's names out there and to keep us, people talking regardless, hoping that at some point it comes to a conclusion. But I do feel for you for all the crap that goes on with cases.
I hadn't seen them for 18 months, and I listened to Daniel talk about Jack and talk about Lily. And I hope what he says is true for how they were, what they like to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Jack, he was still a baby. and he was so quiet, and he played with a toy at a time and studied it. He was very into himself and just studied everything. Lily, like I said, she danced circles around you, always smiling. She was always living in a make-believe world. And from what I can gather, she was a prima donna.
Right. Yeah.
And Jack, from listening to Daniel, he was a little nature boy that I think he would have followed me around the yard, I know.
Yeah. I know that was, like I said, Malaya kind of just, I mean, she said that Daniel was the root cause of it, but pretty much abandoned everybody, right? Haley, Cheryl, or well, I think it was, Cheryl she hadn't talked to, but I think like Daniel says, I don't believe that to be true. What's Cheryl's sister's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. You know, the one that was at the search as well.
Whose sister?
Is it Cheryl's sister?
Oh, you're not talking about Angeline.
No. The other,
Okay.
the one that we always heard the name of first. I think.
Right.
I think
Shelby.
Thank you. It was like right there, right? But anyways, what was my point? Now I lost it.
Shelby was Malaya's best friend.
Oh, right. She pushed everybody out and stuff like that. Hunter S. True Crimes here, Belinda. I feel like Belinda and Daniel are speaking out for different reasons, you know. And you know, absolutely right. Well, however, okay, you know what? Like Daniel, he's been saying your name a lot out of his mouth, you know.
I know.
You know, because he was never talking like that. And now all of a sudden I hear him, you know, and saying this. Now, I don't know if I want to ask you this, to be honest. Probably just let it lie, you know, about. Well, what I was going to ask you is, are you taking that as like, more like pretending, and what's the word I'm looking for?
I've kind of learned that I don't trust anybody, to be honest, and I always wonder what the motive is for somebody doing something.
Well, yeah, I don't, because I really don't want to get into, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to try to get you or Daniel or pit you guys against each other. I know that in the live the other day, you know, you just wanted to, you know, like take responsibility to Malaya and Daniel, of say, you know, the responsibility of bottom line is that those children disappeared. Like there's kind of like no excuses, right? Like, meaning it doesn't matter if Malaya typically gets up and you lay in bed with Meadow type of thing. Bottom line was, right? And you know, you heard me ask him it again. That the bottom line is those children, according to say, you know, what they've said is that those children, regardless their words, basically disappeared. Well, they did underneath their supervision. And that's the bottom line of it. There's just no ways around it. Like, you know, Malaya could have, should have, would have got up. Daniel would have, could have, should have got up. Bottom line is 2 children should not be taking care of themselves at those ages.
It bothered me that I never heard either one of them say that at any one point in time. I know Daniel did later, but it's too late. It's too late for me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Malaya. Now, did you want to talk a little bit about that, like about the working together stuff, or, you know, just
the working together stuff?
Just common goal.
It is. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. I don't know if it's even a working together. I seen Cindy at the rally, and for that one brief moment, I looked at her as a grandmother, the way I felt.
Right.
And I thought, no matter what, she wasn't in that house that morning. Her daughter was.
Right.
So I know no matter what, her life will never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad because I know her heart must be breaking like mine. It doesn't matter the reasons. A broken heart is a broken heart. So yeah, I wanted to hug her to let her know that I understood.
Yeah. And that, honestly, like, to me, again, even if I have my feelings on people, regardless, those are just my feelings. But at the end of the day, it's about answers for Jack and Lily, right? So whatever it is or whatever is done, like with Tint, he made a comment the other day about helping the family. Again, I don't care. Like, meaning, doesn't matter. There's no side here.
Right.
It's just about Jack and Lily and finding out the answers and the truth,
Mhm.
And I know that there's some drama and stuff definitely going on with other people and stuff. And my thoughts are this. Do I believe that, say, Chance Lays and Jordan have anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily? You know what? I don't care, but let them all go at each other. If they want to stir pots and cause drama, and if it ever leads to information about Jack and Lily, so be it. If it doesn't, so be it. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't want to involve myself and talk about their, crap that's going on the other channels and stuff like that, to do with that stuff. But I'm just like, let them go at it. If they want to put themselves as public spectacles, and it might have a chance of, someone throwing somebody underneath the bus with information. So go ahead.
Maybe that's the purpose. I don't know why half of them do what they do now.
I know, honestly. And that's why, like, that stuff really doesn't, I just don't let that stuff bug me, right? I know you're in a different spot than I am in certain ways, because like I said, I can turn myself off and on when it comes to doing lives and stuff like that. You're living this nightmare and the bull crap and stuff like that that's gone on every single day, right? I don't even know how you're, just not mush. Oh, I'm sure you are, but
Have a good many days, yeah.
yeah. Okay. We'll come around back to this I'll put your post up, share screen. And where do I got you here? Got you right here. Okay. Okay. So there's your post. Here, I'll just make that bigger for a second. One sec. Okay. And Belinda says, I would like everyone to know that after much discussion with my lawyer, Daleen Thomas, it is time for me to seek new counsel. She no longer represents me and my guardianship. She will do her best to help me transition this. She has gotten me this far, and I want to express my appreciation and gratitude for all she has done. I am still moving forward with what I feel is best for my grandchildren, Lily and Jack. I also want to thank you all for supporting my cause and for all the love shown to Lily and Jack. Thank you. And of course, you got the beautiful babies. Just also blending purples and pinks, and even Jack on his shirt. Oh my. All right. So you put that out today. And how would you like to talk about that or reference it, just to explain it to the people following the case?
I have decided that I need a lawyer closer to home that I can meet one-on-one with. And with everything that has taken place online with Daleen representing me and all the chaos that was created over that, I need a lawyer that nobody knows, and that way nobody can say nothing.
Yeah. And do you guys out there feel like that's a great idea? I mean, I personally do. I think that that's somebody that honestly is kind of like out of the loop of the case per se that way. I think that probably is best. Um, and because honestly, I mean, I haven't been paying attention to the online stuff with Daleen and different things. But by saying that, regardless, no matter what, it's going to put a target on her to people to
Yeah,
bash, trash, uh, all these some of these people trying to literally, keep talking about taking her, her lawyer degree away and stuff like that, you know, versus someone like maybe it seemed like a good idea at the time, obviously, right? But then you've seen obviously what has happened and transpired. Um, so I personally feel like this is a good choice to make and have somebody that, has no play in the game of online stuff and it's
right.
just a separate.
At this point in time, yes. What a lot of people don't seem to understand is when a lawyer works for a law firm, they have their own investigators and everything that do everything. When somebody is a private lawyer with only themselves and maybe an assistant, they have to do a lot of the investigation themselves unless they have a fair bit of money backing them up.
Right.
Her investigating has caused a lot of drama. Every time we thought we were getting a step forward with things, there would be a whole new line of attacks. And it's become overwhelming, not just for her, but it's become overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
So we decided that it is best that she steps away and I get somebody that's closer to home.
Hmm. And yeah, honestly, good idea. So again, for anyone out there that can dig into their pockets to help support Belinda in this, she never asked me to say this. She never asked me anything. I had asked her. But I love Belinda. You guys love Belinda. So for anyone out there that has a couple dollars, few dollars, whatever, to help with, her quest for finding a new lawyer and they cost money and stuff like that, obviously. And I know you're not money bags over there. So, I'm all about, right? Supporting people I love and care about. We've done it many times on this channel to help others out. So if you guys can, please do. Simple as that. Okay. It's not a begathon. It's just a care-a-thon and to help a good person out and for the fight for Jack and Lily, however you guys want to deem it. Is that fair enough to say, Belinda?
Thank you. And I wanted to make it clear, I stuck with the GoFundMe. They do take a small percentage, but I wanted it to be something that everybody could see and
Okay.
that I could show because the GoFundMe place itself, if somebody changes their mind and wants a refund, the GoFundMe will allow that.
Uh,
And to keep the record of all the money that people can see. So
Okay, because sorry, what one sec. Because Belinda believes was asking earlier. She asked me about a percentage, and I know that the GoFundMe does take a small percentage, right? Of it. YouTube takes way more. People, just saying, way, 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 way more. But anyways, but do you prefer it to go through the GoFundMe, or if somebody wanted to send you an e-transfer?
the only thing with an e-transfer is the GoFundMe is put into a separate bank account because I don't want it attached to any of my day-to-day banking. So it has its own bank account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And my e-transfer that I use is hooked up to my regular bank account.
Right. And you just want to keep everything on the up and up
Right.
and that way and structured. And I get that
Yes.
absolutely. Right. Because like I said, it's going for that specific
Yes.
purpose. Yeah. Yeah. On there. So, which, I've given to GoFundMe's before. I didn't actually, Belinda, I can't say that I remember. I remember there was talk about one, but I don't even know when this one got started. Let's see. When did this one get started? When did this start? I guess, was it 3 months ago? Around? Does that seem about right? Just trying to, just trying to see if there was. Oh, created February 24th. So pretty much while I was gone, um, for the most part, I think here.
Yeah, I
So
can't
that's.
remember the date.
Oh no, it said February 24th. So like I said, March, February, it was February 24th. So March, April, May. So yeah, pretty much the time I was gone. I know that there was talk about it at the time. But that, so when I asked you, like, do you have some sort of link or something like that that I can put up? Uh, right. It's because I honestly didn't know that this actually was up until you shared the link with me.
Yeah,
So
I don't often post it out. Like, I mean, there's been so much controversy over the GoFundMe, the
that,
fundraisers, and everything. So I just kind of just let it sit there for a while.
yeah, and I get that, honestly, I just, like I said, there's a lot of good people out there that know exactly what this is about, who you are. And there's those people that always try to take away from things and stuff like that. And so, hey, tell those the people that don't want to, don't. Tell the people that do, thank you. Right?
Well, that is what I try to make clear. Yes.
Yeah. But again, Belinda, this happens in all the cases, the same stuff. Like what I'm seeing is just repetitive of what happens to GoFundMe's and different things in other people's as well. Right. But at the end of the day, I always feel like the good people that, like, regardless if they donate or not, the good people, care about you, care about the case, and want to help out. And the others that don't, the ones that usually bitch are the ones that never donate to nothing anyway. That's typically how it goes. But bottom line is that, again, if I can help support you and put this up and stuff like that, I'm going to do it. I don't
Thank
care.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of support online. I have a lot of people contacting me, and it does. It helps.
Ooh. And absolutely. So now let me. I want. Can I veer off this, or do you need to add more to this? Because I know that you.
No,
Okay. Um, I was very stunned at the 1 year memorial vigil, whatever you want to call it. You appreciate the fact that all the people that worked hard to put it together, and then you and Kent and a constable, and then okay, what was that other guy called? Not a mayor. He was like some
warden.
warden. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word ever. And then this precious little girl gets up there and
Yeah,
speaks.
Janice's granddaughter, I believe it was.
Is that who? Okay. So just to ask you though, like I was literally in shock that nobody else spoke. I wasn't for not for the 1 year, especially. Were you or what? Like, meaning you were there, the vibes. Like, I just couldn't believe that it was the 1 year for Jack and Lily. Okay. And I said it on the live, and all of us were actually pretty shocked that only a little girl got up.
I
Besides you and
was surprised. I was surprised. I was really hoping, I wasn't expecting Cindy to speak, so that did not surprise me. But
right.
I actually did assume that Cheryl might speak and Angeline.
Yeah. I mean, was Haley there?
No,
She wasn't there.
no.
Hmm. But even for some of the YouTubers that were there, I
Now,
mean, like,
now that did surprise me too because Shenanigans was there, and I had heard someone state that she was going to talk. So I informed
mhm.
Kent that she'll probably want to say some things. And he
Yeah,
said, as long as it stays about the rally, he said, anybody's welcome to talk.
yeah. I was just simply expecting people to say, like we'll just use shenanigans or whatever, because nobody went up there. But I was just expecting, just the simplicity of, we're fighting for justice for Jack and Lily, and we'll remain, just something like that, right? Nothing much more than just basically going up there and saying, thank you guys for being here, caring so much for Jack and Lily. Just a basic something like that. I wasn't expecting these long-winded talks, just the simplicity of just speaking up for Jack and Lily on their 1 year. Yeah, it just threw me off because I would have, like, I know for me, I would have been up there speaking. Like, you wouldn't even have had to, you know, try to get me to do it because I would have done that. And that's why I kind of didn't understand, even like I said, why Cheryl didn't or Angeline, like just the simplicity of it all. I just, from a visual point of view, it just looked horrible that only a little girl got up and spoke after you guys. Yeah. I
Well,
wasn't expecting that.
apparently they have their reasons, so I've heard.
Well, I mean, they can have their reasons, but still. The way I feel, like, Belinda, you've never not spoken up at those, and stuff like that. Like, but it just really always reminds me of the wonderful person, human being that you are. You know, you're doing what's right. You're doing, not because you have to, because that's just who you are. You know, love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Now I don't really want to keep you here too long, but was there anything else that you wanted to talk about at all?
Uh, huh, no, no. I've told myself that what I see on shows, I have to let go and not speak to some crazy things that,
It don't matter. Hmm,
yeah.
you know. Because I was going to ask you, over this time now of the year, like I said, there's probably been some really good people in your life and some really shitty people that ended up being in your life. There's this, I don't, tell me if you've ever heard of this poem, A Reason, a Season, a Lifetime. Have you ever
No,
heard of that poem?
no.
Bottom line of it is that some people come into your life for a reason, a season, for just a little bit, you know, and maybe you gain something from it, learn something from it, and then they leave, right? So it's or a lifetime, that they impact your heart, that, like I said, for years on, your friends and stuff like that, because they were somebody special. So that's the whole point of it. Some people come into your life for a small moment, more like a medium moment, and then say like a larger moment. And it's all about the fact that whatever the reason is, you cross paths for a reason, a season, or a lifetime and stuff like that. I heard of that one such a long time ago. And whenever I think about people that say during this time and that you've been talking about Jack and Lily, like I said, some people come in it for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Sometimes they just come in for a day, maybe 3 days, maybe 4 weeks. Some people stay maybe in your life for a year, and other people stay in your life, for years and years type of idea. But, you know, always learning and something from it or taking something from it, whether that's good or bad in a sense. So my question then was going to be, she remembers it. Love it, Sunny, your daughter. Oh, sorry, your other daughter says, love it, Sunny. Remember this from my teacher. Yeah. Yeah. It was always impactful to me, right? Always trying to understand that through good and bad, that there's people that come into your life for different reasons and stuff like that, and everything's kind of like sometimes hindsight. But my point that I was going to ask you was, now that it's been so long, and obviously, have you toned it down with who you're watching now, and or what you're allowing yourself to listen to? Because near the
For
start,
the most part, yes.
yeah.
There are some shows I will not watch. There are other shows, if somebody informs me that I should hear something, I will go look, but I won't watch the whole show. But
Hmm.
yeah, I still pay attention to everything.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Because I know for you, it was always about, especially for a while near the start, more so. But I mean, it's almost like every droplet you wanted to know, right?
Yeah.
What was being said, kind of like keeping up with it. But then it gets to a point where there's just so much BS and different things,
Yeah.
and like I said, I mean, I've been watching that person's show because I just really wanted to hear, because I didn't know about this Anita person. I'd heard the name a couple times. I had no clue, but I just want to see if there was some value of information,
I thought she had a lot of value.
and now,
Now I'm not sure what her purpose is. I do
yeah,
believe there is a purpose. I don't believe anything or anybody related to either family doesn't come out and talk without a reason. So I believe there is a reason for her. I just haven't figured it out yet. Maybe it's to take down the YouTube channels in the end to convince them of all this, and then maybe they could be sued, and that's the goal. I don't know. But I do believe
well,
she has some purpose.
I'll tell you one thing. From when I've listened to her, like I'm talking about the drama shit, in a sense, maybe not so much say the logical stuff. If anyone could probably be charged with slander, she's put herself in a good position. She's accusing people, outright calling.
Right.
And,
Doesn't it make you question why hasn't she?
you know, yeah, like I mean, like like to sit there and actually say that Daniel's a murderer and stuff like that, or even if they're
Say
talking,
things that have taken place into Cindy's household.
yeah,
So I don't understand why it hasn't had a stop put to it.
yeah,
So that makes me question what is the reason for it.
yeah. You know what? I'm sure you've come to know, like myself and Charmaine's probably the bigger of the two, even though I am the same way. But Charmaine, I think, is a bigger one. Always looking at people with a stink eye, you know, because I don't trust too many people in my life. I just don't, because usually people lie, let you down, full of shit and stuff like that. And so I'm always looking at trying to always find that sincerity of what's truthful. Right now, Anita has said some things about, Cindy selling her car, Malaya calling the tax credit, and she's saying that that was in the week while she was there of when the children
Mm-hmm.
disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
but yet again,
She said enough to me in the beginning when she came out in February. She said enough to me in the beginning that I knew part of stories too, because
right.
I had heard these stories.
Yeah.
So she did come off to be very believable to me, because I couldn't see how she would know some of these things
Right.
unless.
Right.
So
You
that made
know.
it very believable. And we talked just about every night
Mhm.
for about two months. And
Yeah.
then I wanted to reach out to Wade.
Oh,
So
yes.
I went on her profile so I could find Wade to see if maybe if I reached through her, he would speak with me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find him on her friends list. So then I looked for Cindy. Then I looked for Malaya. Then I looked for anybody I would recognize. And the only person I recognized was Cody, which was Haley's man. So I
Right.
asked her about Cody, and she stated about, well, he was looking for a job. So I didn't want to question, well, being on a friends list, you have to accept him as a friend in order for him to be there. And she never had anything good to say about Cody, so I was kind of surprised. The next morning, usually, like I said, since February, we talked every day. So I went to contact her the next morning and she had me blocked.
Right. You were saying that.
And I've been blocked ever since.
Okay, now how do you wait? I want to say this. So someone anonymous a couple of minutes ago donated $100. And Belinda, which would be Belinda
Oh my,
Believes, donated $100 to the GoFundMe. And I'm not, and so Hunter S True Crime says donated. Now I'm not sure if you went under anonymous or if it's still waiting to do its thing, but you guys are gonna all
thank,
make me tear
thank
up
you
now.
guys so much.
Donated. Dawn says, wish it could be more. Honestly, I just love it when people do come together for the right reasons, you know, and like just for the right reasons, you know. It does tear me up because it's like I've seen people, donate to well, we'll just say, for lipsticks or or to people that necessarily don't deserve it, but the people donate. But when there's something that's like very sincere in cases, and stuff like that, like the reason why you're here, of course, and obviously, like I said, Belinda does not. She's not Moneybags person. She just isn't, okay. So I know that inside her heart is crying from all your guys' generosity, but she's not that person that sits there and like she's not this person that's just like donate to me, donate to my thing, da 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 da. I'm pushing this for her today, because I just want to thank you guys. It's
Thank
anonymous.
you.
It's the right reasons. Yeah.
Thank you, Sunny.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll keep pushing it, Belinda, because I know you could use the help, and it's for the right reasons, right? For Jack and Lily and for, to assist you. So, like I said, you've been fighting for Jack and Lily this whole time vocally, Thank you guys on there. Oh, now I'm so sorry. I just wanted to bring it up to show you. I know you were saying you were talking about, you were looking for Wade, and then next thing, did you finish what you were saying with that or no? Because I was too busy looking.
Basically, I know she had made some remark about, and like I said, I still have a hard time with that because I still feel that a lot of people are right. I really should have pushed harder. But she had made the comment of, why didn't I go to Patty's and demand to know from Patty? But what she doesn't tell you, what I told her, is the last 2 times we went to Patty, Patty wouldn't answer the door. So Malaya told us to just leave the gifts in the porch.
Oh, right. Wow.
Like I said, she puts out a lot of little truths, and I hear some of her truths that she puts out because I know of them. But I do notice that she really puts a different spin on a lot of things now.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, I'm just coming back into it with that stuff. And again, it's only to see if anything rings truthful through it all. And at the end of the day, again, I'm just about, hey, you know what? If they want to create drama amongst themselves and what they're doing or what they're saying, and the other people are going to entertain it and answer those phone calls and stuff like that, I'm just all about for Jack and Lily. If people want to do their attacking on each other like that, I mean, who am I to stand in their way of that the BS that's been around since pretty much the beginning of Jack and Lily's case. So, to see more of it doesn't shock me at all. But I don't
understand it. I don't understand it. I thought My God, here's somebody finally speaking out for
Speaking
the
out.
kids. Somebody that
Yeah.
wasn't doing their best to protect Malaya or try to protect Daniel.
Yeah.
That I really thought she was speaking out for the kids.
Right. You know what? But I mean, honestly, does it really shock you all the different twists and turns anymore? I mean,
From
frustrating.
strangers, no, it doesn't, but from
Yeah.
people that are family and close, yeah,
Yeah.
it does. I'd have to say it does.
Well, who's the next person that's going to, you think, step up and bring in some drama? Chelsea? Chelsea? Any takers there, Chelsea? I'm going to be the good daughter yet. No, I'm just teasing you. Now, I do want to appreciate Hunter as True Crime for all his hard work that he's done in Jack and Lily's case and his videos that I've used many, many times, and to give him credit for the wonderful work that he's done and stuff like that. Um, you know what, Belinda, if you want to say something to Hunter,
You
uh,
Hunter, not just Hunter. Like I said, there are some great people out here. Sonny, you, Hunter, Charmaine, Ninji. We have some
yeah.
American Justice. We have great people out here.
Do you watch Justin Clutch Them Pearls much?
Yes, and Justin, because yes, I watch him too.
He always gives me a great laugh too. Like when he takes the content.
When
and
I
like,
need to blow off steam, I actually watch AB because
oh, I don't watch him at all. Yeah.
I do, only because there are times when I'm so angry that he curses everybody. It doesn't matter. He has no favorites. He curses everybody. So, and sometimes I need to hear that.
I was gonna say, I mean, Daff. I know, like, so.
And yes,
yeah,
Daphne.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got no beef with Shanann myself at all. Whatever. Again, each to their own. What they do, just the content and stuff like that. But I did want to go back. So Hunter, thank you so
and
much.
Nova, even
Nova. Sorry, my bad. See Nova too.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, about Ninchi. I mean, I caught her first live the other day, actually. I think she does a really good job analyzing. Like, I mean, there's obviously
she is.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yes.
She must be a profiler of some kind or something. She must be some sort of psychologist or something.
Well, she says it's her ADHD that makes her hyper focus on things to pay attention to little things.
Oh, okay. Alexa, she's gonna come join me on like about 10 days from now. She said, I've always wanted her to join me with this case. She always would be there for Delphi. Me and her became great friends through Delphi, but I really do want her take.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, she's just a tell it like it is type of person. She's like, she's like me, Charmaine, type of thing. Just, she's not there to sugarcoat what she feels or says. Like, she doesn't play that game. She's just a very laid back, but she did profiling and that for 16 years. And I mean, she ended up getting out of it in a sense because she ended up getting stalked by a stalker. And so, that became, I guess, a little bit scary. But anyway, so, body language, graphologist, and criminal profiler. But anyways, I just like the factualness. And, I remember when we were doing Delphi and, she would say certain things and, I had my own opinions too. But we were kind of still along the same line, but there was times definitely for sure when I was like, all right, fine, Alexa, you were right. And she'd be like, I know, because I'm the profile. I've been doing this. And I'm just like, yeah, I always just go with my gut feeling on things for sure, but just like saying Ninchi, right? I mean, not everything she's saying, of course, is going to be accurate, but she does a very good analysis. Like when I'm listening to her on those things, like you said, that you just you catch and what she does it. She does it very well, so I don't always get to watch all her stuff all the time for sure, but I've definitely watched quite a bit of it. Um, I just have to. Are we missing anybody? I don't think so. I've never watched AB. All right, and and that was simply because the first time I even watched him, he was reading something that was putting this channel down. And then, so of course, he made a derogatory comment and whatever. And I
He does
never,
it just about every show. He puts
yeah.
somebody down, but
I mean, like I said, besides that, I've literally never watched the dude. So, but hey, I mean, honestly, I don't know if he cracks you up and has no mercy on anyone. Oh, right, because he's the one that said he was going to push Kent down in a wheelchair on the thing.
well, like I said, I can't say that I totally agree with him on a lot of things, but when I need to
No.
let off steam, he does it.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably where I go to Justin's channel for that because I mean, he always cracks me up with some of his little toys that he puts up there, like bullshit, bullshit, like he's been going over the Daniel's 9 hour live for the last few days or whatever like that. But I always still like to hear the perspective. But you know, uh, the same perspective I have about Jack and Lily's case has not changed. Before you came up, did you listen to what I was reading before you came up or no?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And do you kind of, I mean, based upon the stats, right? Like we're not
Mhm.
we're not off the wall. Yeah, we said yeah, deaf. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's the most plausible, realistic scenario out of all of them. And I try to put it into AI always very fairly. Of course, I never want to be one sided. So I want to put it in there very fairly because I just literally want it to say, and again, the case against Daniel that's going on, could very well be one of those cases that they're doing it for the exact reason of do something for a smaller part of it to get to the bigger part. And, who knows? Could be a lot of truth to that.
Oh,
Might be.
yes, Mike MX.
Who's
He
that?
is Mike.
Oh,
Oh,
I've heard
he
of him.
does. Yeah,
He's been there.
you actually want to check him out. He does these short little ones,
Does
and
he?
he has such beautiful poetry for
Does he?
Lily and Jack that it is.
Aw.
Yeah, it is really, really nice.
Yeah. I do recall seeing him in my lives before, and I had watched a few, I would say tops of his videos. Honestly, like I said, working, trying to do my own stuff when I was doing lives, even now, right? It's like I get off work, do my 8 hours, but I've been more rejuvenated. Maybe it's because I'm on the early shift. I don't know, but when we covered the year, um, and I was on Charmaine's channel. And then I started feeling okay. I think it's time to come back now. I had a nice break, from it. Not to say that I still won't, because I do have to go up to Alberta in July. I'm going up to my twin sister's place. So we'll be gone for a couple weeks there and stuff like that. But it was just, bringing my balance back and, type of idea. And again, I have to do things from my heart. And at that point I was exhausted and there was nothing really going on too much, and you know what I mean? So,
Oh, I'm glad to have you back.
you know, I knew it wasn't going to be forever, but I didn't think it was going to be over 2 months either. I just do it when I'm ready, right? I always do things, like I said, from how I feel or when I feel like I need them to do, but it feels good. Covering Jack and Lily's case, doing lives again, and, you know, seeing a bunch of you guys again. It makes me blush when people are like, Sonny, we missed you so much, come back and stuff like that. I do want to say,
I even watched the MOS ones. I know there's 3 or 4 of them now, so I can't remember what the rest of them are all called.
is this channel that Charmaine was getting blamed for, this monsters of
Yes,
sabotage?
Monsters of Sabotage. Yes, yes.
What's that channel about? Because I've not watched it.
They take stories that people put out that they believe are made up stories, and they'll do little clips into it. They're just short little skits that they do, just
Oh, okay.
enough to make points on what they believe is lies and deception being put out there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't watched it. I only heard of it because Charmaine was saying I think her and Melissa were getting accused of it, and like I said, um, I myself stay away from that stuff only because for me, I know, right? I just know that it's not in the best interest to entertain that stuff, regardless. But everyone to their own on how they handle themselves or whatever they want to say. It's just I'm just way past that stuff of getting involved with it. But at the end of the day, regardless, meaning I fought my own battles many times, and then it just becomes pointless because if you don't give them the attention, it just goes away, honestly, and then they get moved on to something else and stuff like that. But when you add fuel to a fire, it just turns into more and stuff like that. And so I've
Yeah.
learned my lesson from that. Sometimes I'll poke the bear, it. Sometimes I poke the bear, but that's just for fun on my part. Now, I don't want to keep you. So was there anything at all that you want to say? Like, I hope that at some point again, Belinda, it's been a long time since you've been up on a live. I know that you've been in and out of channels. But I hope at some point, that you do, come back up again whenever you want to speak. The door is always open anytime you say it to me, regardless. But, just whenever,
Thank
you know
you.
it. Yeah,
Thank
next time
you.
bring Chelsea with you, eh? Right?
I tried to tell her to, and yeah, she
She's
says,
not ready yet, eh?
yeah, she's not as good at keeping her mouth shut.
And that's fine. That's fine, Chelsea. We love that stuff. It's like I said, if anyone wants to put their name or my name in their mouth on their channel and stuff, I don't care. Like, I got free will to talk and say what I feel and think and stuff like that, and so like I said, that stuff doesn't impact me. It's just Jack and Lily fight for justice. But yeah, what is that noise? It's upstairs. So all of a sudden you hear this pounding. But was there anything that you did want to, obviously a Jack and
I
Lily
would
something?
like to thank everybody for the donations and for supporting me. And it is amazing how many people love Jack and Lily. It really is that.
Yeah.
It does seem like they're everybody's grandbabies.
Oh, I want to see that there's another one. Carolyn donated $50 13 minutes ago. So again, thank you guys for the love and support for Belinda. And again, I don't care what shit people say that want to take away from this. Thank you to all those good people that really just care. And I love you
Yeah.
guys for that. It's one of the most beautiful qualities that you can have. And that's why, like with Belinda, she always will have my heart for who she is as a person, and what she does and who she stands for. Those are always important to me about people. And there's so many of you guys in here. I don't know all of you guys, but there's some great, a lot of people in here that I do see all the time. And you guys, thank you for having such beautiful hearts. It's a beautiful thing to be in this lifetime, you know. So yeah. So alrighty. Well, so obviously prayers and justice for Lily and Jack. And thank you for coming up here today, Belinda. I know it's 10 o'clock your time. Are you getting to bed? Are you sleeping any better?
I go to bed anywhere between now and 11, but I wake up through the night and continue on.
Okay. And because I know, yeah, lots of times I go to sleep, just in my head. It's kind of, come on, give me the powers to see what happened to Jack and Lily. Give me, and then I fall asleep.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah.
I start thinking
Yeah. Look
about,
for any kind of a sign.
I know, same. I wish I had truly that gift of being able to, you know, uh, be able to see what happened. Just as much as I say wouldn't want the gift, I would love that, because I truly hate anyone suffering that has no clue what happened, no answers, right? That's the hardest part out of all of this, is that even if you think you know the answer, you still don't know the answer. There's still no charges, no nothing. And you just live every day with a big hole in your heart. And not that it's going to change, but at least there would be a piece of closure, of a piece to, you know.
I'm
So,
hoping that makes a difference.
yeah. And so, you guys, chances are I will do a live tomorrow night. Anyone that does donate to the fundraiser, I'll make sure to give you kudos on the live and I'll pull it up. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And because it's just, again, when people do kind things, you just want to appreciate what they're doing. But Belinda, love you so much. You have a good rest of your night. And thank you so much for coming up on the live.
Love you,
Appreciate that.
Sunny, and I love all you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you need me to boot you or do you know your way out?
No, you're going to have to boot me.
It's going to be so difficult, Chelsea. I'm just kidding. Ready? Here you go. Boom. Kick guest. Gone. On there. Um, Thank you guys. Belinda means an awful lot. And, again, I always will give her an opportunity when she wants to talk. And it's not because, like, she didn't ask me. I had asked her because a lot of times things get out of hand with, and start talking about things about this with the lawyer and Daleen and all that, Daleen and all that stuff. So I would rather just have Belinda speak on it herself and say whatever she wanted to say, regardless of it all. Um, Kelly Thompson, again, thank you for your 5 uh, gift membership gifts. Much love. Thank you, Sunny and Chat and Mods. No, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Thank you, Belinda and Chelsea. God bless you both. Prayers and pray answers come. That's okay, Chelsea. You are strong and always do your part. I mean, Chelsea has for a long time, right? Little by little, towards at the beginning, you would definitely see Chelsea start speaking up more and stuff like that. And she's not obviously Belinda's number 1 favorite daughter, but I mean, she does her part. Can't take that away from her, right? And but it's nice that Belinda does have her loving daughter, even though she's not her favorite, to say, be by her, take her, support her, because everyone needs that, for sure. Everyone needs people that really care about them and love them, you know. Wish we could do the same back for Lily and Jack. There's Belinda. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Chelsea, second favorite daughter, says thank you, Sunny. And one day she'll come up here, possibly. One day, might might be might be the day that answers come, but maybe one day we'll see. Kelly Thompson, or sorry, Lily Little Black Bear. Kelly Thompson, heart, heart, heart. Hope somebody gives Belinda closure. You can hear her heart. You always can. There's no faking genuineness when it comes to that. And anyone that, like I said, ever takes away from the genuine love and care. Like, imagine being a grandmother and sitting there, people try to take away from when she's done interviews and, got upset and stuff like that. It's just, like I said, it's genuine. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you, Sunny, one of my new favorite channels. Thank you, The Old and Mysterious. Appreciate that. Thank you guys all for being here. Second favorite daughter, yours. Oh, you can be the third. You can be the second favorite daughter, Belinda. Because, I mean, your name is pretty close. Actually, it always doesn't make me laugh because every time someone spells Belinda your way with the I, and it's like, I know that you have the I, Belinda has the Y in there, But every time I see it, I still feel like for some reason, like, like a daughter figure going on there. But still, it would be the second favorite. We'll just push Chelsea to the third row. Good night, Carla. Thank you, guys. So, like I said, anyone that donates tomorrow to the GoFundMe, if you can, please do. If you can't, please at least hit the like and share for Jack and Lily out there. And again, I'll bring up anyone that has donated to this tomorrow, just to keep the support for Belinda, Jack, and Lily. The fight for, the custody and temporary custody and stuff like that. Jack and Lily, regardless. Belinda deserves to get the answers and, say have RCMP and that speak or update and stuff like that. And heck, I think it came out of Daniel's mouth. Pretty sure it did. But anyways, bless Jack and Lily. You guys are all doing something for Lily and Jack. I see that, and I pray to God that they can feel that. Absolutely. And Belinda, go read A Reason, A Season, or A Lifetime. Anyway, all you guys go read that. It's for all the beautiful people out there. And just a reminder that, shit happens in life. People come and they go. And whatever reason or impact they left on your heart, taught you something, either about them, or they remained in your life, but whatever reason. Thank you, Sunny, Belinda in chat. Just Ducky. Peace, calm, high. Big black dog with Milo's names on the harness. Hi, Anis. How do you even say that? Anisel? Anisel? Kelly Thompson, thank you, Sunny. Good night. Sharon Parker, thank you guys for mods. Sharon, bring me back my Ben. I miss Ben. Tell him to stop working. Thanks for all you do. I just joined and very much appreciate. Thank you, Attica. Dodie, see you tomorrow night, Sunny in chat. Love you guys. Love you too. Okay. So with that being said, I'm just going to play Russell McDonald song to Jack and Lily on the way out. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow night. And thank you. From the bottom of my heart, you guys, for all those people that just have caring, compassionate, kind hearts, beautiful hearts that are here for the right reasons and support the channel, support Belinda, support Jack and Lily. Thank you guys. I mean that, obviously. Okay. So, do I still have that up? I think I do. Do I still have it up? I should. Oh. Nope. Okay. I think I actually, 1 second. Looking at my own live for a second here. Video. Oh, I think I accidentally closed it. You know what? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can video file. Let's see if we have is that it? This might be it. Anyways, I'm just going to hit play on this one. Is that one it?
In the woods where shadows lay, Jack and Lily went to play. On a rainy May afternoon, now we whisper hope's soft tune. Echoes of laughter fill the air, but where are they? We stand in prayer. Oh, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? We'll hold on tight through this endless storm. In our hearts forever you'll stay. With every prayer we send, but gathered hearts so strong, searching deep where they've been wrong. Through the trees and storms they roam, wishing every child came home. Fatigued but fierce, they won't give in. For every soul we search within. Oh, Jack and Lily, where have you gone? We'll hold on tight through this endless storm. In our hearts forever you'll stay, with every prayer we send away. We'll keep the hope alive today. In the silence, love